I don't have an approach in terms of I read this in the book, that's what I have to do. I will always do, okay, I read this in the book, I will ask 100 people what they think, and at the end, I will do it my way. There is no way that I will copy what Dave Marsh. I mean, I work with Gennady. You mentioned Dave Marsh. I work 7 years with Gennady Turetsky, and this man, this is the man. I mean, this is the man. That's pure genius.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Social Kick podcast. My name's Dr. John, and I'm with Meg, Luke, and once again, a very special guest here today. So Luka Gabrilo, for those that don't know, has a historic background in swimming. He was a Swiss national team manager and coach. He also worked with Australia Swimming, Team Elite, with the legendary coach David Marsh. He was the Israeli national team coach and is now the head coach of Team Iron. Luka, how are you doing today?
Hi, guys. Nice to be here, sharing my time with you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on because we had some exciting stuff the last few days. I'll see if our graphics can compete with the legendary ISL draft. And obviously, my pronunciation will probably be on par with how it went. But nonetheless, I want to go around and just get some ISL draft reactions. So, Meg, you watched the first day. You said you had to cut it off. You watched the second day. What other reactions, or maybe delve in a little more of what you thought of the draft?
Yeah, I think the first day, as we were saying, was sort of, I mean, it was fun to watch for parts, but since we already knew who was sort of coming in and it was sort of just announcing, and then it was sort of people not really knowing what to say because they already had it sort of planned. I felt like that first day was slightly awkward to watch, but hopefully, as it just gets going, it might get a little bit better as people get more interested in it. But the second day yesterday, I thought it was really good in terms of like, obviously the managers and GMs having to decide who to get as time was going on and each round went on. So your picks being taken. I thought it was good fun to try and work out who might be taken / who might not be taken. So I really enjoyed the second day. I thought it was great.
So, Meg, did you have your list of people and you're like crossing them off, seeing who was going to be picked?
Yeah, I feel like I did quite well. I was quite happy with myself. Especially with all the Brits that were taken. I was happy for them.
All right. Luke. There you go. Some national pride, right? What'd you think, Luke?
Listen, I keep saying I think the ISL is saving swimming in so many ways. I think it's
Luke,
saved it last year. Can you hear me? Yeah. So I think ISL is saving swimming big time. Last year, it saved it during COVID. It prolonged the careers of many athletes. It brought excitement to the fan base. It kept us interested. It gives us a future. And then, especially in the last 3 weeks with 4 big Olympic trials just finishing and the potential depression setting in for so many Olympic athletes. And now all of a sudden, within days of them not making Olympic team, they get picked up by a ISL team. We have Zane Grove not making US team, right away getting put onto a team. Coleman Stewart, these athletes. And then yesterday, just to see so many athletes who, again, have a future, have a career, have a path moving forward right away. I think it's so important for us as a swimmer to see the colleagues out there having a path to move forward who are like, I'm going to watch Tokyo, get depressed. I don't know what's going on. Now they know they can go and compete in Naples. They can go and compete and make money, make a living. And that is huge for the sport. So that was really lovely to see. And then second of all, the actual draft was exciting. Just to see the look on the faces of Luka trying to figure out what's going on and the tension, the drama and the back and forth. And to have the most elite coaches and admins in the world all coming together in one place, talking as a community that we have, it's fantastic for our sport. So the draft is a great thing. Sure, there are a couple of kinks they have to work out, but heck, there's nothing like this in our sport. There's nothing like this in track and field. Name an Olympic sport, there's something like this in. This is a professional thing that's very American-based. We now have it in our sport, and I can't wait for it to get better and better.
Yeah, definitely. I think some good points there. And like I said, I think I only was able to watch some of day one, and that was a little slow for me because I didn't think that was a draft. It's just an announcement of players or swimmers, obviously. But nonetheless, ISL likes to try things. They try things. Some work out really well that I think are going to be horrible, and some don't work out well. So it's exciting to see them try things. But enough of us being armchair experts here. Luka, you were there knee deep in it. What was your experience and thoughts on the draft?
That's first of all, Luke, you gave like a really good overview of the situation. I agree. I mean, I agree with all of you, but what you said about saving or giving, maybe more than saving, is giving another perspective. Swimming will always be there. So I mean, it's more than save swimming. It is save like the good image of swimming. That's definitely ISL is doing. Swimming will always be there. Our sport is probably number one in the world, and it cannot sing actually, but yeah, we need much more, and the ISL is definitely the kind of product that will push this sport forward. That's also one of the reasons why, from working, by the way, I'm still the head coach of the Israeli Federation until the games, so it's still 2 months to go officially. I'm very proud of it. That's I don't have to say it, I'm just proud of, so I like to tell it. I was saying that the Olympics will be there, the Europeans will be there, many things will be there, but we know this is nothing new. That ISL is bringing a new concept, and this draft is just changing the rules of the game. And as we have seen yesterday, it's a tough game. It's a tough game. It's very interesting and very interesting approach. I was pretty impressed how the ISL management were able to target the draft on the proper way. I agree with Megan. The first day I was at home and I was kind of not forced to watch it, but like I watched it because it was the first time, and I was talking with my GM, and we were waiting the rookie pick, which was after 2 hours something, and we discussed about this, things to improve. But then when came the rookie time, the butterfly in the stomach started, like you start being nervous and cold in the hands. Okay, are they gonna call this one, that one? And I said, wow, if this is the beginning, how it's gonna be tomorrow. And then I just realized, the first day for sure in the future it's gonna be studied differently, but the idea is good. Also the concept of protecting the people, it's very positive. The second day rocked actually. I was pretty impressed. Of course, there are a couple of things technical in terms of how calling people, how to have a common list, how to do this and that. That's very technical. That's more on the side. But what is about visual, at least from my point of view, I was in the studio. I didn't see it on the TV or on the computer, so I cannot say as a spectator. But as being there, it was really good. Actually, it put a lot of drama on us. I would have definitely preferred to be home, picking my people in the studio, with my papers around, with my drink, with the quiet, and not there like getting nervous because Toronto it's stealing my swimmers.
No, I know. I noticed that. I noticed that you are at a disadvantage. You and Angie Standard seem to be at a disadvantage, having to be there on the cameras and not able to get on your phone, get your phone calls, focus what's going on, check what was happening. It was too stimulating for you. But talk about the preparation that went into this. There were 900. We saw the list of the drafts. We saw the names, the times, the locations. The 960 athletes, and they end up picking what? 250, 300. Talk about the work that you put in to prepare for this, not just researching the swimmers, but the strategy that you thought about.
Okay, that's very interesting. Actually, that's probably my favorite part. I'm a nerd. I love numbers. I love numbers. I can tell you in football, I don't know, guys, maybe you call this soccer. I will never call soccer. It's football.
Football.
No, just kidding. When people were playing FIFA, I was playing the football manager. So basically looking for the player and then simulating the match without playing it. That was my favorite game. And that's what happened this time here. So the first thing that we have done, it was to figure out the 15 people to protect. Once that we have this clear idea, we're changing 7 times, because then you put the lane up and then you realize that the number 13, which is good in points, it's less maybe worth than the number 17. Could be potential skin, or could be potential, like connections, could have a relay involved. So there are several things to take in consideration, not just about the number. There are several criteria. So let's say once that we figured out these 15, we have a lineup, and I have this clear sheet with the yellow spots where what we need to fill. Once that I have the distance they want to fill, okay, that's what I need to fill. So now it's coming the tough work. The tough work, and thank you very much to my brother. We were playing instead of sleeping. We took all the swimmers, all 960 swimmers.
Wow.
We took their best time in 3 events in the last 3 years. and we how to say this? We convert them in short course meters. And we put them in FINA points because I didn't know what to use in FINA points. If somebody has any other idea, I would be very happy to listen to this. So we spent like 4 weeks converting and writing numbers and like cutting my wins slowly, like because that was really tough work. That was really annoying. And once that we did this, we split each swimmer by distance and stroke. So if we have, for instance, let me think, Ranomi Kromowicz-Jojo. She's swimming freestyle butterfly 5100. So in my Excel sheets, she is under freestyle 5100 and fly also, sorry. So when I have my Excel sheet and I want just freestylers swimming 5100, I have all the list based on points and progression in 3 years for all of them that are in this list. So for me, once that this big work was done, it was very easy to click, okay, I need freestyler 400, or let's say 200 backstroke. That was the main issue. 200 backstroke, 100, 200 backstroke, more than 870 points, boom. And then you see that the list from 960 became like 4 people. And then,
Yeah, I think that's awesome and great to hear. I mean, I'm super nerdy into fantasy baseball, where we draft these like 15 and 16-year-old players in minor league systems and try to project. And that's the hardest part, right? I mean, it's a lot of work to convert to short course meters, make FINA points and all that. But that's the static thing. The next hard and fun part is, okay, who's this 18-year-old or 17-year-old or 16-year-old that over the past 3 years has improved this much that we still think has a trajectory for improvement, which in swimming, it's one that I think as a whole, we're not that good at talent ID and projections overall.
We don't have datas. Swimming, it's an age of rock, basically. We are still swimming. We have better training plans maybe than the 80s. And from some other strokes, we have worse training plan than the 80s because we are not evolving in some disciplines.
Yep.
If you take women 400, 200, it's they were swimming the same time almost 30 years ago. The average swimmer improved, but the top swimmer, they're not. So we're doing some good stuff, some bad stuff, but we don't have any data. I mean, now, of course, with the race analysis, that today it's way better. Like in the last 5 years, the race analysis improved dramatically. Now I have my competition at the Israeli trials. We record this, we send this to Sweden, and 5 minutes later, I have on my phone the race analysis. This is okay, but to have all this data in a system, I mean, I don't know where, how, who is going to do this. But with having this, you can make a projection. Mm-hmm. You can understand what's going on with the swimmer. If he's improving his turn, is improving what is going down, why he swam slower than the last season. And then you analyze inside and you can understand, okay, this swimmer is done. Like it's going down. I don't know how to say in English. Like his phase, it's slowly going down. He's enjoying this, but he's not going to go up because it's obviously clear from his data that that's not happening. But without data, it's just, and then trying to guess what it's going to be. That's our issue with projection. So basically the projection was, okay, that's my knowledge. That's what I think. That's what I believe. That's what my coaches told me around, because then you start calling people, say, how is training? Main question is, okay, what are you going to do after the Olympics? Are you going to take off? How long is going to be your off? So people, they were telling me more than 7 days off. I say, okay, good. It's not going to be the case. Because if you have to compete we're going to start September the 2nd, if I'm not wrong, and you're in holiday until August, 15, 18, you can be, Dressel, I will pick it anyway, Dressel, but you know what I mean? Like, you can be very good, but you will not be able to perform and you will be completely average swimmer.
Also, you had a chance to pick Sheridan Dressel. Is that what you're getting at?
Again, sorry?
His sister, Sheridan. Didn't you have a chance to draft Dressel?
We have some veto between us. I didn't want really. I'm a rookie. Lenny, Lenny Kravitz. I love to be bullied in a good way, and I didn't want to upset Jason. No. I don't mix with him family affairs. That would be too dangerous. Because if these guys get angry, like they are still strong. So no, we keep it quiet.
I want to talk about the first draft pick that was made that I think is one of the best draft picks. Is a pick that Darina made, your GM. She picked you. She picked this guru, a researcher, this really well experienced, this successful coach. You've turned around the Israeli national team. You've worked with the best coaches of all time, with Gennady and David, and then you came in. So why the change? When you're looking at your athletes, based on what happened last year, what was the strategy for the kind of athletes you and culture you wanted to build and the direction you wanted to take Team Iron being a rookie coach?
I love this question. It's very interesting. I hope I will not be annoying you guys giving answer, because I'm not able to give a simple answer. I need always to tell you the background, because I think it's more interesting to know what's happening behind.
Please.
When it's too much, you just stop me. I will not get offended.
Go.
But the story is, I don't have an approach in terms of, I read this in the book, that's what I have to do. I will always do, okay, I read this in the book, I will ask 100 people what they think, and at the end, I will do it my way. There is no way that I will copy what Dave Marsh. I mean, I work with Gennady. You mentioned Dave Marsh. I work 7 years with Gennady Turetsky, and this man, this is the man. I mean, this is the man. That's pure genius. Yep. That's the alpha. This is the fire and the water at the same time. The man I was coming on the pool deck. He was playing the guitar and you, how to say, the harmonic. I don't know the instrument. Harmonica.
Yeah, harmonica.
Together at the same time. And then looking at me and doing like strange faces with his body. And man, this man, it's pure poetry. Swimming sport world didn't understand which kind of genius was this man. So
we still swim his sets. We still his sets he did in the 80s and 90s. We still do his sets. We still do his macro cycles. We still follow him. He was visionary. He was ahead of his time by far.
The endless pool. We're talking about endless pool. When people start showing me endless pool, or him, not me. Him, endless when he look at them, it's like, oh, I did this in the 70s. And it was true, because he built this pool. Like, this is, so to say this, I have my approach, and it's always holistic. I will not be picking, okay, we force this, we push this, and this. No, it's going to be, I believe that we need to make a better athlete. I will not say better human, because I go too much in poetry now. I will be too romantic. But let's say we want to make a better athlete. So it is not about one performance. It's about giving you the possibilities to express yourself in the best way possible. I'm not going to teach Ranomi Jojo how to swim. I'm not going to do that. If she needs some inputs, we can discuss about the catch or the push or the hip rotation. That's going to be funny if she's up for, and I will be super happy, because I'm super nerdy about technique. That's my huge passion. I could spend days talking about just biomechanics and freestyle. But that's not the point. My point is how to make this lady comfortable at the age of 30, 31, she's 1990. She's 1990. So yeah. How you gonna be able to express yourself better than the last year when you were amazing? I know we're gonna achieve this, but that's gonna be the goal, to create this environment where the swimmers can enjoy, develop, and create a team culture. Because at the end of the story, if we win one year, okay, we win this year. Let's say we win this year, but it's something happened, and we didn't establish anything. And next year, half of the team goes away. I leave. Dorina do something else. The game is over. I mean, we won 1 year, but we are not doing this for the goal. We're not making millions in this business. We're doing this to develop something that we love and to make it stronger. And the people after us are gonna be copying or doing the same thing as I'm doing, like using and changing on their own way. So that's the approach that I discussed with Katinka and with Dorina and with some other GM that I spoke before them. And it seemed that people like this, because that's what I did in my life. I did this in Switzerland, studying in Australia. I did this in Israel. I shared this with Dave Marsh. And I don't know, I really enjoy this. And in my opinion, bring results. Of course, more with the younger people. I love to work with teenagers. Teenagers are really eager, and they're really humble and hungry, foolish. This is my favorite kind of meat to work with. But it's going to be definitely interesting now to be just surrounded by people that I don't know. I mean, I know them, but I don't have one single element in the team that I work with. This is my life face situation. I'm really excited. It's my test to see, okay, my theory, in my opinion, my theory is very good. Present this to Katinka Hoss now, big mouth. Let's see how you're going to manage this. So I think this is what people like, the idea of creating something. We're not doing for the small goal. We're looking at the big picture. And I always believe if you have a good big picture, your goal, which is on the top of the pyramid, it's going to be a consequence. It's not a goal. It's a consequence of what you're building below. It's like a stroke. If you think you want to swim 49.0 and you're 49.0, 49.0, 49.0, I don't believe you will hit it. If you start building everything around and you're really doing this perfectly, technically, emotionally, you're going to swim 48.5 probably.
No, I think that's huge. And I think you hit so many points that we're going to get into. But one I want to dive in off of what you said was just the youth swimmers. And obviously, Gorbenko comes to mind as an elite, younger Israeli swimmer that you've had a role with. Then you started talking about with Team Iron, you got Katinka, you have Kermit Jojo, you have these older athletes. So when you're looking at your position with Team Iron, is it more as kind of a manager? Is that your philosophy that you're getting into it with? Or how much coaching do you envision yourself with these athletes?
Good point. Good. I asking myself also that I don't have an answer for. I'm very honest. Maybe like it sounds weird, but I really have no problem to tell you what I think. And this is, it's gonna be discovered. I'm ready to step. That's my position. I will make. This is my position. I make clear what I'm doing, what is my responsibility, what are my duties, and what are my rights. And I will really defend all this and try to create good environment. If I see that I need to go more this direction, that direction, this is what I need to understand. Maybe I go completely random. Maybe with swimmer A, I will have more technical approach, and with the swimmer B, it's gonna be more management approach. It's depending what is required. We're gonna have different coaches, club coaches, my assistant coaches. I insisted. I don't know if I can make it public, so I will not make names. But I insisted to having a staff, a person that is working at dryland and how do you say this, in physiotherapy, but a lot of dryland. For me, is the key factor. I want him because the swimmers, they're eager to prepare them better physically for the race. He's the best in the world. If I tell you if you are working in international swimming, people, he's known. Everybody knows who this guy is. And that was my first goal. Before coaches, before swimmers, is I want that guy. Why that guy? Because this guy is gonna give the the continuity to the idea of my thoughts, which is holistic. So we prepare dryland, water, mental, emotional. Good. We have all the parts. We cannot just. I want to give them an extra tool how to improve themselves. I want them to go home and say to the coach, I've learned this. I'm really excited that I can improve myself. So this is, if it's going to be more technical, more management, or both, I don't know. I'm ready definitely for both. I love both. So it's gonna be a good ride.
We've talked to a lot of swimmers as well who are going into the ISL, and they're talking about how great it was in previous seasons and now to learn from other swimmers as well. So as a coach and manager and how you're feeling fit for what you're doing, how pivotal do you think your role is in helping those swimmers make those connections with other athletes as well?
I think it's very, actually, I think that's one of the main role. That's very important is how to, a team leader is the guy that keeps everyone together with rules, with stuff, but at the same time you make them feel free to express themselves, as I said before. So, and especially in a place where we're gonna have now I don't remember. I didn't put the nationality yet on my roster. I just put all the names and stuff. But we're gonna have a lot of languages inside, a lot of backgrounds. And I know that one of the problems at the beginning of the previous season was exactly this connection. So now it's gonna be okay. That's our language. Language doesn't mean that we speak all English. A language means that's how we communicate.
That's right.
This is the timing, this is the place, and this is the tool. How, with whom, that's a different story. But if we are communicating on this way, and I don't know if it's a dress code, if it's a team meeting, if it's a WhatsApp group chat, that's important because coaches need to know if we need to post in the WhatsApp group. I don't know now. I can say stupid rules that just to make sense. Every day at the evening of at the end of the day, we're texting about each swimmer that everybody's in charge, one information. Okay, that's gonna make a flow that we can check. Okay, that's what's happening, and the coach is obliged to communicate. Which sometimes you keep more information for you 2, 3, and after 1 week you have a secret, and secret are not good in groups. So that's exactly the point: is how to create a good communication and make everybody able to perform. Coaches, therapists, manager, and swimmers. So if this answer to your question, I think that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's a nice segue to performing, because I always wondered how Dave communicated with the Tokyo Frog Kings. And I know that Caitlin communicated with the DC Trident with a culture, with a spirit, with an energy. A lot of swimmers really excelled that we didn't think they would in the ISL environment. And a lot of swimmers we thought would excel didn't. So we had the Gastadellos of the world and the Casio
Wow.
Waziks of the world who we didn't expect. And then we had the Michelangelos of the world who were like, well, yeah, he was always there, but he wasn't winning skins. So it was interesting. So I'm wondering if you've studied how has this particular atmosphere, how you think it might help a swimmer who you know, what is it? What is that source that's making these swimmers excel or not excel, or even progress during the season? We saw a swimmer like Mary Sophie Harvey come off of COVID, no training, get jackpotted, all of a sudden scoring points on the finals and doing really well in the course of the 5 weeks because of the coaching. Have you studied what is that cauldron that the ISL is that makes swimmers, breaks them or makes them?
No, study. No, I don't think you can study this because again, we don't have what to study. You can observe and you can watch history. My personal background, it's history. So I love history. If you know the history, you know the future. Yeah. This is something that people very often forget to check. Like we are doing the same mistakes in every field. Mm-hmm. So in the swimming is the same thing. If you remember, you remember World Cups, right? The real World Cups of the 2000. Okay, yep, with the leagues, all the swimmers were better at the end of the World Cup.
Yep.
We have like legacy of 4.
Yep.
And on the 4th one, on the 3rd one, you were smashing.
Yep.
And then you were coming like, full training period. And suddenly on the 3rd or the 4th one, you're swimming your PB or close your PB. Like, how this is possible? Why? I'm not tapered. I'm not shaved. Why I'm swimming better now than in, I don't know, that was January, better than in March when I have the trials. For in my case, all my PBs are like, we're coming from World Cups. Yep. It's the environment. In the environment is very simple is when you look at people performing well, you will imitate them. We are working. We have like our mirror cell. I think that's how you say in English. Our mirror cell. Just they are so strong. They're so how to say excited to perform when they see good stuff around that we start doing the same. And finally, we improve. And they're not Gastaldello. I mean, this girl. I'm professionally in love with what she has done.
Yeah.
I'm really in love. Like that was crazy. I'm not betting, but that's where to bet, to find this kind. And she was number 4 in the ISL, if I'm not wrong, 3 or 4. Yeah. Number 4, I think. Yeah, this is crazy. If you figure it out, I mean, I'm not surprised that she's in the Dave Marsh team. I mean, that's not a coincidence. That's where Dave, it's just absolutely rocking there. Like he knows, he feels it. He doesn't even know. If you ask him what are you doing, he cannot answer you. But he will see something while we are doing a set on this side of the pool. He will give a look there, and he will understand how to make the connection and make the environment during the practice better. But to do this, to take an example of Dave, he needs people that work for him completely and blindly, because that's a structure. He's creating a structure, and those people need to implement this. So with all around, you implement as this leader, or I like to say dictator, because that's a role. You dictate the rhythm, not the rules, the rhythm. How you find the right rhythm, that's what defines your team. And that's when you start improving. When you start dancing, the better you get the rhythm, the better you dance. I cannot dance, but doesn't matter. I guess it's working this way.
Name one swimmer who can.
So this is the key. Find this, and I believe when we're gonna check the roster, I took really I don't know how good I did, to be honest, but I went through the functionality and people that I know they will be very excited to be in the team, like very excited. I have this Spanish girl that she didn't want to answer my phone call today, and then I called the coach and I said like, what's going on? And he's like, she cannot stop screaming since this morning. What's happening? He's like, she's happy. I was already like, what's going on? I pushed it. And actually it's the opposite. She's just like losing it. So when we spoke later, I said to her, just make sure you bring this. I don't ask you anything else. Just don't ask anything. Bring this. Bring this, because that's going to make the difference.
Well, maybe Luke can pull up the roster now.
One year to test.
Yeah, definitely. And I think kind of as Luke pulls up the roster, this approach of individualization is kind of what we're getting at here, where, like you said, each athlete requires different things. Some more biomechanical approach, some more psychological approach, and things like that. But one thing that's hard to recruit, and obviously you talked about the spreadsheets and the numbers and all these things, are the visual inspections a coach can make, or communications with the coach about their energy, their excitement, their passion, and things like that. So with a list of 900 athletes, how were you able to assess those things? Was it mostly reaching out to coaches? Were you able to watch videos of any of these athletes swim?
No, I need. Can you put again so I don't need to scroll? I can see you. Thank you. He's not missing one, by the way.
This was from a screenshot from yesterday. So yeah.
No. One was missing. One was missing. We did a mistake with one because in the confusion we sent the wrong name. So
Okay.
one name was wrong. We already corrected this. Talking like now we have 10 picks actually because one was missing. But I think one is missing on that list. Yesterday they said it also. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Okay.
So what happened out of one person from this list? All the others, I know I could recognize their stroke while they're swimming, and I just sorry, two. But one was already in the team, so I don't have to. It was a Bassetto. I would not be able to recognize his stroke. But all the others, I know how they're swimming. Like I know. I think that I know what can perform, but I hope this. And with some people, I spoke with a coach. For instance, Barna. I'm well connected with the Louisville crew, and I asked them, "Is this guy like a team player? Is he getting excited?" And from the moment they went, okay, go with him, trust us. Yeah, for me was okay. He can swim 50 and 100, but good. If he's gonna bring something positive, he improved dramatically recently. So we're playing on this. I hope that after he's gonna have a good Olympic. He's gonna have very short rest. And then get ready. If he's listening now, we count on him.
Well, Luka, here's what I want to do. I want to bring up that list again. I want to get Meg's, John, and my immediate reaction on that list of what we think of those athletes. And then I want you to give your overall reaction. And then I want to go through athlete by athlete because there's some names there everybody in swimming knows, and there's some names I have never heard of. So let's just get the reaction from the fans of what we think about this, any surprises, and then let's go through your analysis of each athlete. Is that good?
Perfect.
All right. So Meg, we need to take a look at that. What do you think?
Let me just get it up for myself. I really like the diversity of different countries, like we said, and different swimmers. I'm really happy that Milak's back because he missed last season, if I'm correct, didn't he? Because of COVID. And Barbara Simonova, she was brilliant in the Euros this year. I loved watching her. I thought she was brilliant. And the fact she's only 17 as well is amazing. Anybody who's just young and coming up, like you said, through teenagers, I just think they're great. Oh, she's 21. Oh, she's my age. That's why I'm getting confused. And then, I mean, Matt Richards, we've spoken to him. He's great. He's just such a lovely guy as well to just have on.
John?
Yeah, I'll go next. I think my impression is that with Katinka and Milak, there's so much room to improve from, Katinka not being on her top form last year and Milak not being there due to COVID. So of all the teams, I'd say maybe this and Team London, with London having all the Aussies on it. I mean, this team has so much room to improve and I think has a really diverse skill set of athletes and different events. I'm not seeing too many weak points just looking at it from a glance. Obviously, like Luke said, there's a few athletes I need to familiarize myself with a little bit better, but some of these are some really up-and-coming swimmers, Hennique, Melanie Hennique, Sadi. All these athletes are obviously on the rise, and I'm really intrigued to see if they can continue this rise, especially through the short course meter season. But the tough thing is, as we've been talking about, it's not just who's got the best long course time. It's who can translate it to short course meters, who can get up and go week in and week out, who can do it in a variety of events, who's not going to get jack pointed when they're in their third event, and who's going to hop on a B relay and step it up and not lose it there. And that's where a lot of these athletes, I think, are figuring it out. And we're kind of used to it with the U.S. college system, but that doesn't mean that other athletes aren't going to thrive in it. They just haven't had maybe the opportunity yet, or we're just not familiar with them yet.
I agree fully. And when I look at this roster, I see really strong depth. And I think that's what maybe Iron was missing last year. They would score and then not score, or they would get jackpotted and then they might make they might win the skins with Renomi. And I see now that you've kind of balanced it. So you do have the Milaks and the Renomis who are going to win skins, who are going to make major points. But I don't see any weaknesses. I don't see anybody there everybody there should be able to swim within those jackpotted times for sure and score you points in every race. and you got strength. You got swimmers who are so versatile of what I'm seeing there. So I like the depth, and I see you've improved the overall average standards, and you've lifted the whole team and put you in a position to have some breakout swims. So I'm excited to learn more about these athletes. What's your overall impression, Luka, of seeing them all together? Because you didn't know what this team looked like until last night, because you were hoping for a team. What's your overall impression? And let's get into the athletes.
Yeah, I agree. You're reading properly. It's a good read. Like, wait, I will move on my. Or can you put? Thank you. So as you said, I think we have our. You have the solid base. We were able to keep the swimmers. You mentioned Katinka improving. We have also. I will make just an example. Maria Golkova, which was really not in the shape at the previous season. But if you see her swimming now, she went close to all her PBs. So I mean, she's improving. She's a 30. She's a 1989. But still hitting her prime in terms of results, which is really impressive. And I know her since 2005 because she's Swiss. We swam together actually, like physically in the same lane, like as a swimmer. And it's I know how she's strong mentally when she's good. So that was one of the reasons why I want her in this team, because if she's good mentally, she's a plus. So of course we're not gambling, but we are speculating.
Mm-hmm.
It's two different things. Speculation is based on a calculation. Gambling is based on cross the fingers. So I made kind of a calculation with myself and say, okay, I have more possibilities on this way than this way. I go by this way here. I follow the biggest percentage. So this is what I'm trying to do. And of course, I go with the idea is that it's going to work. Because what I'm saying is this girl is going to bring this to the team. This girl is going to bring this to the team. And we are very versatile. This is very positive.
Yep.
We are covering now the relays, which was really not the case before. Our relays are pretty well covered, and we're going to fix it now with this new element that's going to come in. We're going to fix this completely. I'm very confident. Actually, I can tell you already something interesting if I find it. Give me 1 second. Sorry. My lineup disappeared. Why my lineup disappeared? I told you, okay, because I'm completely on the wrong page. Okay. Yeah. So I said we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots that I would like really to fix in terms of stroke and distance. And once that this is fixed, we have like a team that can cover everything twice, basically. So because if we think that you're gonna go at the ISL and everybody will perform as you written on the paper, and you base this on this one chance lineup, that's gonna be very problematic, because that's not gonna work. People will be sick, people will be injured, people will be not well prepared. That will happen. Will happen. So I need to have like option B. And option B needs to know that hopefully for him, the option A is not going to be on the top shape. So fight for your spot. We want people to fight for the spot. You are out. You are match. I'm going to have to explain to very good swimmer that match 1, they're going to be out completely. Right. They're not going to swim. Or they're going to swim to swim a relay in the second team. That's not very nice for your ego. But then we have 1 week in between. Show me in practice that you are eager, that you're hungry, that you're up to go there, and you want to gain these 2 points more. Because if we're going to go to the playoffs and to the final and whatever, it's going to be because of the number 6 instead of number 7, on the position 4 instead of the position 5. Of course, the stints and the victory is going to make the difference, but it's going to make the smile, it's going to make the front page, but the difference is going to be 10 times 5th instead of 6th or 7th.
Totally.
So that's my theory. That's where I wish to work. Not everything worked perfectly because we have a late pick. There was a team that 4 times in a row picked the swimmer that picked. The 4 different swimmers, we had them in the list. Okay, this one gun, we're going to take this one. They picked it just before us. That was really being in the studio. They asked us to be very dramatic in term, but was very natural. I was like, wow, that was going on. Somebody took my computer here, because that's impressive. That was really impressive. So yeah, and the depth in the women, it's not so big. That's a message. I hope that young ladies watching us, because the chances to be a very good swimmer in the 200 back, 200 fly, 400 freestyle, 400 medley are huge, huge. Instead of coaching them just swimming 50 freestyle and 50 fly, which is amazing who is doing that, I have nothing against, but how shallow is the top in these events? Just to make a semi-final at the Europeans 200 backstroke, just go to check it out. And then compare this to like 100 freestyle. That's two different galaxies. Like, that's completely different sport. So young people, just remember, swim 200s and 400s. Forget the sprint in the future. There is time to do sprints.
Agreed.
They need to focus on this. So this is like always my message to the younger. But the idea of the draft was this, like to give like two teams basically based on our top athletes. We have this. Few things are missing. Very few things are missing. And it couldn't be, we could have picked something different, but actually no, because we couldn't. There were no chances. With this late pick and with these teams grabbing everything with what's on in the front, that's something we will think in the future. If that's the perfect way, I'm not Mr. Draft. I don't know I know the typical NBA draft, but more than this, I don't know. So I don't have ideas. Maybe it's the best thing just this year because I was behind. I suffered. I don't know. And being in the middle is very interesting because if you're last one, you already know that you're not gonna pick these guys. So you're ready with the option 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. You're ready with this, and you're really relaxed catching, and maybe some opportunities are coming. When you're in the middle, it's stressful, and we were the last of the middle actually. That was really frustrating, and you're like waiting. No, gone. Okay, change tactic completely. We need this one. Okay, and etc. So it made it pretty tough, and of course their team they were behind us last year, and now they're extremely strong. They get some upgrade. If I think about Aqua. They had the present Checon first, so I'm happy to say this. Somebody will not be happy to hear me saying this. They get a present that definitely they didn't need. Checon as an extra pick, and Checon was my first pick, by the way.
I was going to ask you,
yeah. That was really
Kaminga.
And they get Kaminga, and then again you get Komanova, the backstroker, and then you get Kathleen Dawson. Like you got Iron Man and Thor, and I don't know, and then you have the Avengers, like. Game over.
Who else who did you wish you got? Like, who was your top 3 that you didn't get that you were looking forward to?
It was a backstroker woman. Yeah. Backstroker woman definitely something that was 200 back. So we had Kathleen Dawson basically that went to Aqua, and my personal pick because I love the name also, Cassie Wild. They went just before us. That was like stabbing my heart when Dave Salo called her. I was like, call some I don't know. In Asia there are so many good backstrokers. Just keep it.
You didn't mention my name, Luka. Come on, my name is on. You didn't mention me.
No, women.
I know, but you didn't mention my name.
Luke really wanted to be picked for the draft.
Yeah, I would love that. How much would be paid to go back in time and be there?
Oh my God! It would extend my career. I would have kept swimming.
Absolutely.
So let's go through these athletes. Let's go through and from the number 24. First of all, who's the athlete who's not on this list?
Okay. I need to compare the two lists. That's gonna. Let me see.
We can start with Africa. Talk to me about Zamarova.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Africa. She's the girl that was not answering to my phone. But I mean, it's a girl that passed completely under the radar. She's swimming 200 backstroke this year, 240. This is. I mean, if you improve 240, you move in the top world elite. If you swim 22, you're top world class level.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. She is there, and that's what talking with her on the phone today is like. That's what you need to do. That's different. That's why we want to support you. I believe that you can improve this. And such as it's a 400 freestyle. She swims 400 medley. If I have a problem, just Africa, pick your suit, please, and jump in the water, whatever it is.
And then, all right, Andrea Bana.
Yeah, I mentioned before, 5100 freestyle, 48-1 long course. He's coming out from yards, so definitely, I'm sure Arto Ribeiro coach him properly to do turns. If you swim 48.1, man, I expect him to swim fast 100. I really expect him to swim fast. I would love to see him. He's a very special, particular guy in the good way. The Serbian coach is a good friend of mine also, so I discussed with him already, and we expect him to improve. He's one of these guys. 48.1 long course.
And NCAA product, so those turns are gonna be fast. That's a 45 short course meters.
That was one of the calls I was expecting they will go, and it was just not going. I was like, I will wait, and then at the end I said, like, let's pick him because the list was almost over. Like,
that's awesome. All right, so next one, Costanza
Coconcelli. She's an Italian young swimmer. She's a sprinter. She is improving all her PBs at the moment. In the last season, she improved everything, every single distance. She's behind the top. Like she swam now in Rome in long course 24.9. She's swimming the 100 medley also. She's swimming 50 back. She's swimming 50 fly. She can swim 100 freestyle. She's not on the top. But again, I have a problem. She's jumping in. She's improving.
Right.
So you improve 24.9. I expect her to swim 24 low. You improve. You're on 23. 23. You're a swimmer. You're a top swimmer. Like you go everywhere.
Yeah.
And again, that's the theory. It's people who are improving. She didn't slow down no one event in the last season.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, we know Matt Richards. What do you like about Matt?
You suggested.
Yeah.
No, I'm coming. I remember him from the juniors. He competed with my guys, with Israeli guys, with the juniors. I know his coach. Again, I'm a technique freak. Okay, I know that he doesn't have the best turns. I know that's a risk calling him because he's young. He's not short course swimmer. I want to give him a chance. I believe that this guy has a fire. He loves competing. I remember swimming against the Swiss-Croatian boy Djakovic at the Junior Europeans in 2019 in Russia. He won and he didn't want to lose that race. When I saw this, like, oh, this guy has something. He has a fire. And he doesn't look like. That's what I love. He looks like Duncan Scott. Duncan Scott, like, this swimmer, they don't look this beast, and then in the water, you don't want to deal with them. You don't want to deal with them. Yeah, so it's a real bet.
Yeah, we made something saying the last Olympic champion was 18 years old on the 100 meter freestyle, and Matt's 18. And I mean, there's a lot of people. He hasn't gone 47 yet, but I wouldn't put it past him. He has that fire, that drive. Yeah, he has that maturity and sensibility. He has that he's not like being unjust in his expectations. He knows that the world is his limit. He's 18 and he likes to race. And in that 200 free, when those two boys went 144, he's like, heck it, I'm going after them.
Yeah,
I mean, two guys going 144. He's like, I'm going to go after you. And I went 145. I mean, that you want that swimmer in your team. So it's awesome.
I hope so. I believe this is the biggest bet in terms of, because if he's working, he's going to be a game changer. Because if he's working, I think he will be able to swim not 2 events, but 3 events. That's my feeling. I don't want to put pressure before talking to him or the coach to know how he's training. But a boy that is swimming 145.87 in long course, in short course you can do everything. That's my theory. And if this is working, he's gonna be very interesting. I really want to give him support, emotional, and like even with his coach, which I know, like, okay, what we can do to make you guys feel comfortable.
He could come back being an Olympic gold medalist in a 4x2, and he comes back with that confidence, and he comes back with that experience, and he comes back with that humor. The guy is funny on his vlogs and his Instagram. It's good for you guys. It's good.
Do you remember Tom Dean? How he improved suddenly from swimming 3:43, 3:42, getting in final in Glasgow, and then finishing third, cutting 4 seconds, and then from that moment. He didn't stop. That's what I see. If this is happening, that's the next one.
Good coaching.
Yeah, definitely.
Great coaching, not good coaching. Good on
that. Great. All right, Bernard, I don't know this swimmer.
Red Hammer. Check it out. We are talking about 50, 100, 200, backstroke, and medley. There's no 50 medley, but 100, 200. And average point, like scoring easily 900 FINA points.
What's he like?
Good versatility.
Boy that swims.
Yeah.
I can tell you, like, he's swimming 200 back long course 159. He's swimming 200 medley long course 159. He's swimming short course 100 breaststroke 57 low. He's swimming 50 breaststroke 26 low. He's swimming I don't remember. Like, there is so many events that I don't even know where to put it. because it's going to be really where there is a hole, he's going. And I expect him to be better. It's his chance. He's a very humble, very simple in the very good way, lovely person, and he wants to shine. He's really strong. I mean, his bicep is bigger than my head, and he's really strong, but he's so humble that it's impressive. It's a pleasure to have in the team. I was from day one. I live in Austria, by the way. I'm Swiss, but my wife is Austrian, so we don't live far from each other. And I was from day one. It's like that he's gonna be my guy, that nobody will know about him. But check him out, his results, and he's much better than he looks from the name. Also, Reichshammer is not that easy even to remember.
Where is he coach? Who's his coach? What's his club?
He's in the regional center of Linz. Marco Wolf. He's an Austrian coach. He's a local Austrian coach. He did extremely good in team culture. He's quitting this year. Actually, they offered me that job. It's just too far from my home, and I won't focus on family and ISL. And but Marco created like team culture, and all his swimmers improved. So I want Bernard to be in the team and give this positivity. He needs to be in the front line. Whatever we're doing, man, you are the example for everybody else. You run double than the others. You jump double than the others. If whatever we are doing, you're gonna do it better. And I think he has really qualities to emerge.
I've been to Linz. I like Linz. I've been a week in Linz. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Jenna Strauch.
That was the swimmer that I said that I never saw. And I went crossing my fingers. And then this morning at 4:30, while I was going to the airport, she texts. We start texting through Instagram. And then I said, can we call one of these days? Like, okay, I'm free now, so let's talk. Wow, what a fantastic talk. What a good spirit. I was like, whoa, or did I jackpot? Or she's really good on tricking me, because her attitude and how she was talking sincerely. And I know Aussies, I lived in Sydney for a while. And I don't know, I finished this call, and I had many doubts before because it was blind. I finished this call, I text the arena and say, like, I think we did a really good choice.
Why? So, where did she swim? Is she going to Tokyo? I don't
100,
know.
yes. She's in the Australian team in the 200 breaststroke. She's swimming 100, 200 breaststroke, and we needed a second. We needed a breaststroker like Ida Hulko. She's really strong on 5100, and I was looking for a serious 200 threat. And that was. And one thing that ISL is willing to help, especially Australians, but other people that don't have the possibilities. Between the Olympics and the ISL, the training conditions, facilities to help them to find something. And when she told me I'm willing to go somewhere to get ready for the ISL, not go back to Australia, being quarantined, and then go again not being fit. When she told me this, means that she's gonna do pre-camp, Olympics, 1 month of preparation, and then ISL. Madame, you're welcome in our team.
You're dedicated. Yeah, I remember talking to some Aussies guys, and they were worried about the back and forth and how the quarantine is going to affect them and be out of the water for 2 weeks in a hotel room. So that's good. She's willing to do that sacrifice.
Impressive. And how she was talking was not sacrifice. She was excited. That's why I was honestly impressed.
It's the right attitude. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Mikael.
Yeah, we stay with Mikael. That's he's a big guy. That's one of the hammers. I mean, that's betting. That's not speculation. Here is betting. He is pure betting. We know that he can. We know that he can be like he didn't have the best trials, but I was coaching. Maybe you know who is Andrei Greshin. It's a medalist with the Russian at the Olympics 2016 in the Gennady programs. I immediately contact him. I need him to be my ambassador with the Russians, to explain them the philosophy and try to make them, if he's not listening, because I don't know him, I have to be honest, but it's going to be to create, okay, people, we're going to love you, but and you are Russian with your culture, and we want to embrace this. We want just to let you understand you can improve with us. That's what we did with other Russian, and when this happened was amazing, because you have these Eastern qualities with the Western craziness, if you want, and sometimes they're coming out crazy things outside. So I really hope I made a good choice. It was a risky pick. I believe that we did the right choice. And 100, 200 freestyle and 100 fly. It's very good considering 2 relays. The boys, it's covering 5 events. I put him in the lineup. Yeah, potential 5 events. Yeah, that's correct. this is solid. If he performs this on his level, he's gonna be a hammer.
No, I appreciate seeing Russians on the roster. We don't know much about the sport and what's happening there. I remember watching their trials streaming and even looking for their results. It was difficult to find the results. So like it's just not well publicized, and that's a problem when we don't read or know about it from culture. Then we have issues. We need to know all our cultures and know all our swimmers and love that sport. So well done for Mikhail. Look forward to seeing him. Marco Ossi, know him well. He's a swimmer of yours at one point, wasn't he? Marco Ossi.
Marco is Marco. Like he's Marco, or if you know in Italian, Orsi means bears. He's Marco Bears, basically. That's his name, and we want this from him. He's such an enthusiastic person.
Yeah.
He's moving energy in the good and the negative way. Like, I'm expecting him like to catch this phase. He's not going to the Olympics. He will be preparing the ISL. That's clear. Discussed with his coach. This is very good with Roberto. And yeah, I'm very optimistic that he will not give all the jackpot to Dressel in 100 medley. Like it's really annoying to hear. It doesn't matter who you pick 100 medley because anyway, Dressel is gonna take over them. I want to make clear this to Marco that people think, man, like it's your proud here. Like they cannot consider you out, and you are strong. You can do it. So yeah, 100 medley, 50 fly, and like for the second reel and freestyle, he's good adding value. He was the fan vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we enjoy seeing him swim, don't we, guys? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know who's missing. Yeah, I figured out who's missing. Is missing. Oh my God. Loening Ingeborg from Norway.
Is that the one language you don't speak, Norwegian? Is that why?
No, I don't know how I even said this, but Inge, she's such a good person. I know her personally, like well. So Inge, let's say Inge.
Inge, yeah.
Inge was a forced call because she's a fourth. Anyway, she was in our mind for a late pick, but we anticipated because all the backstrokers went, and she's swimming the 50 on 26 low, the 100 on 57 low, and the 200 to 6. I mean, she can cover the backstroke. And she swam all her PBs now in Rome and the Norwegian trials. She swam 1:00:00 in Rome. Which means she's a short course swimmer. 1:00:00, it's better than 57. I don't remember 57.4 that she's swimming, something like this. This is better. Yeah. So I mean, today she's better. And she's another of these swimmers. She's gonna prepare the ISL. She's gonna take very short rest of a couple of days, and then yalla, we're getting ready for the ISL.
Perfect. Love it. Barbara, we talked a little about her. What do you like about her being in this young phenom European champion? Yeah.
To be honest, I like the idea of Barbara. I like her. I like her idea. I mean, she's first of all technically 100, 200, 400. Simple, everybody needs this. Second, she's young. Third, she was supposed to go to college. She pulled her out because she wants to go profi. It means she's 100% in. There's no discussion. The coach is committed. She was very happy. The coach that I spoke with her Europeans, and we cannot guarantee anything. She said, like, I'm really excited to do this. If you can support her, and watching her swimming, this is so beautiful. Technically, swim that I think she can be a real leader, future leader. That's a position of Barbara. I'm not even sure in the first season if she will be the best version of herself. I will be even patient to wait for her because she's the potential. That's a long-term pick.
I like it. All right. Well, I mean, Tom DeBoer, he lit things up recently. Talk about him.
Yeah. Power. 21-7 or 21-7.
Yeah, he's a dark horse for that Olympic final. It's
crazy. You can no more excuse to not swim 100 freestyle short course. That's no. He's a serious. And again, I love this Dutch community. We have some Dutch people, Dutch staff. They're so serious. They're working so professionally. That's really good. I'm happy.
Yeah, that was a great pick. I love to see Tom. Maria, you talked a little bit about her.
Yeah, I mentioned before.
Yep. We can go on to Bassetto.
Guilherme. As I said, with Jena Strauch, Guilherme was the second swimmer that I really didn't know. I met him in Rome during the Sette Colli. Spoke with him. I got beautiful feedback from all the people that were around, and I understood why. It's his energy. And by the way, 22.9 and 49 high on 100 backstroke. It's a very good visit card. And he loves Brazilians. For them, it's like they need to perform there. That's the highlight.
Yeah,
he's doing the Olympics, but this is the moment where he can shine and make help himself financially. He's gonna give I know this. Just speaking 5 minutes with him, he's gonna give 110%.
Yeah, that's what I want every single time. I like it. Oh, Santos.
I mean, very versatile. We're talking about 200 fly, 400 medley, 200 medley, 100 medley, 200 freestyle, 400 freestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm confused.
The
thing is, he missed the Olympics, and he's getting ready for the ISL. That was the main thing for us to figure it out. Dorina did a great job. Dorina is really good, actually. Right? Being young and being all surrounded by these male sharks, it's really to get intimidated. And she has attitude. I love it. We need more women like her coming in and stepping and creating this to accept a woman as a leader. I'm really younger than me. I'm really proud. I'm super happy about it.
No, I mean, equality in our sport is something we address almost every single sport, I'm sure. So thank you for addressing that. We have such not many women who are leading our sport in the admin, in the GM capacity, far less the coaching capacity, far less in FINA or ISL. So I'm really glad to see Dorina and the Caitlins of the world out there. So kudos, big time. Let's go on to Ida.
Ida is swimming just good. Ida did a very good season. She's swimming. At the beginning, I will be honest. In my mind, at the beginning, she was not there. Dorina convinced me, and then when we saw her swimming Europeans and meetings and stuff, I was like, okay, no, she's on the right track. She's on the right track. I like her. I like her attitude, her energy on the pool deck. I don't know her personally. I know her swimming, so definitely was a go 50-100 breaststroke with the 200 as extra. That's totally good.
I don't know the next swimmer. Christoph something.
Yeah, I think it's a 200 breaststroke and medley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can tell you just one thing. We went together with him, Attila, his coach, a couple of Hungarian and my Israeli boys in 2019 for 1 month in Japan to train together. I have videos of Christoph Milak, and I don't share them. I share everything. I don't believe in secrets. Yeah. So whatever I'm having, you want my training, you want my season plan, I give you everything. What you want me to share is not rocket science. Man, this is just how you transform it. But Christoph underwater, I don't have words to explain this. His fly, I think Christoph will surprise us. I will not surprise me. I'm really confident, and I have a very good relationship with him. Friendly, basically. I don't say friends because we cannot have this friend relationship having coach, but as much as we can, it's like a really friendly. We were just texting before about how does it feel, and blah blah blah, and in Rome discussing after each race, coming, talking, thinking what he was sending me ideas about swimmers. Committed. It's amazing for us and for the ISL to have Christoph Miller committed.
You see, the Americans at least know Christoph only by his times and see him swim. We don't know him as a man and what's he like as a person. And I think it's important we bring the human face to especially our superstars in our sport. It helps build our sport up. So it's good to hear about what's he like, his commitment and his.
And it's tough, huh? It's a tough guy. It's a tough boy. It's not easy. It's not it's not the easiest person in the world to work or to know. But I love this. That's how you have to be. You have to defend your position. You have to create. And he's listening. It's ready to change it. But you need to convince him.
Yeah, and a good coach and a well-experienced, great swimmer, his coach. So yeah,
absolutely.
All right, Beckman, great swimmer.
We needed absolutely a fly swimmer. She's from another one. That's funny. She's third at the European Championship 50 fly, and she's not swimming the 50 fly at ISL. Yeah, because the first two are from Iron also. I mean, that's tough. That's a tough story, but she's there. She's ready. She's ready to pick the spot if somebody
injury,
whatever. Yeah, and she's from her PB on 100 in long course, 57 low 4. This girl is gonna go fast in short course, and again. If you see the message, that's again Dorina. I didn't mention Dorina again. I should mention her because she contacted them and made them committed with Katinka also. And Emily, the message that she sent back, she's happier than anybody else to be there. She's so proud and so happy to be in the roster.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. You go back, David
Verazzo. I mean, he's
Yeah.
he's the man. Like he's always there. He's from 409 in Rome now. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's noticed. Yeah, he's a contender for medal.
And I had a discussion with him. He goes for the medal. He wants the medal. If I don't make it this one, I will wait 3 years. I will get the medal. I need to lose 10 kilos. I will lose 10 kilos. I need to add 20 kilos. I will add 20 kilos. I need to work 20K per day. I will work 20K per day. David, if you're listening, you amaze me in Rome with your speech. No,
Yeah,
really.
I don't know. Okay, Veronica
Andrushchenko. This is like solid. You can count on her. She will deliver 100, 200, 400. It's very rare, ladies, that they cover this. We have 2 of them, very similar in terms of physiology, like similar, like tall, strong ladies, beautiful swimming, not scared to go, not scared to take the responsibility of this, because it's gonna be tough, this 400 freestyle. And yeah, I'm counting on her to be very regular there.
No, we're looking forward. Absolutely. So, we you might have a couple breaststrokers coming up. Emery, go.
Emre, as far as he's with us, that's a guarantee. I mean,
what a standout last season. I mean, what a great standout. What a swimmer last season.
I would say he was the, I mean, more than anybody else, he was the biggest elevation of this. I mean, with Beryl Gastadello, but I don't know. Emre just looked too dangerous. It looks that this guy can improve more. This is the point. If he's improving more, what's going to happen? Like, somebody needs to be really scared about it.
Yeah. We talked about the evolution of the size of the breaststrokers out there, the Reese Whitleys and Emery Sakis and all these people. And I mean, how tall is Emery? He's 6'6", 6'7"?
6. How much is? It's 199. Yeah, 6'7". Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. And he swims so well for that size. Very technical event. So it's fantastic. Well done.
Yeah.
And then Günther, a mainstay of Iron for years.
Yeah, he's the co-captain.
Yep.
And again, another I was in Tenerife with the Team Elite in Israel for 12 weeks between February and May. We were together for a period. We did training practice together. He didn't know anything about me coaching Iron, but he was so easily trainable. He was so enthusiastic to take part of our sessions. He said, like, he didn't know. I was just calling back Dorina saying, like, oh, your co-captain is just amazing. He's such a good, and he's swimming fast.
Yep.
5200 backstroke now. Again, another one that has improved.
Yeah.
So
it's ISL is doing that to people.
Yeah.
Nick Santos. Wow.
This is why swimming is amazing. You create rules.
How old is he now?
41?
41, yeah.
41 is going to be. I don't know if it's already his birthday. He's 1980.
Yeah.
And I want to learn. I don't want to say anything. I want to learn from him.
Yeah.
I want to listen to him talking. I want that he's telling me he's on world record with 40 years old. I mean, you change the rules of the sport. Again, we create rules, and there are coming Nicholas of the situation that changing the rule. And then you restart from zero. Whatever we were thinking was wrong. So let's face the reality. There is something else. We are in the water. We're at the age of rock. We know nothing about water. We don't know. We don't know how does it work inside. And then they're coming these guys and they're showing you, like big breaststroke. When you have this big breaststroke and they cannot swim breaststroke, explain this to Emre now.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're changing the rules.
Again, kudos to the ISL giving us the opportunity to see such great athletes keep on performing. So well done. We want to have it. All right. I think she's not a bad swimmer. Your next one, Renomi. I mean,
Jojo. The Iron Panda.
Wow.
That's true. That's her nickname. And again, like just if you listen, I cannot tell you the stories that big, but what she has done to stay in Iron, hey, that's her decision. She will look in the face the president of any country in the world and say, like, if she doesn't want you, say, no, thank you. With such a smile, you will feel bad because you're telling her to do something she doesn't want to do. Now she's strong-minded. At the same time, she's so kind that it's a pleasure. Just again, I want to work with her. I'm privileged. I consider myself a young man. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why people give me this chance, but I'm so privileged that I have the opportunity to work with them and then to transmit this to other people that I have to do it. I will be cheating on this sport if I'm not doing this.
We really connected to her during the skins, just to see how hard she worked and how hard she put in and how much she was hurting, because we all as swimmers have felt that pain, but we know what it's like. What do you tell Ranomi, if anything, on the 3rd, 5th day of those skins? What do you say? Do you do anything at all? What do you think?
No. Just go for the win. Is this the ability to put yourself in a very uncomfortable situation and to love it? You need to love to be uncomfortable. There is no such a thing as a comfortable. It's just our mind telling us we don't like this. Okay, just mind, shut up. I want to show that I love this moment, because if you enjoy your uncomfortable, how much you're gonna enjoy your comfortable then? Much more. That's what I'm saying. And Ranomi is this. I don't have to tell her anything. She will tell me what she's gonna do. And second, if I have to tell her something, just show off. This is your moment to show out who you are. Tell us how you want to make swimming better. When you watch Ranomi, she finishing, I have bum skin now, just thinking about this. And when you see her, she's inspiring. Yeah. Just go and do what you do better. We don't need the lion speech or whatever with some people. It's just, like, go there because you are changing this sport. And thank you very much for doing this. We are all very grateful to you.
100% agree. Alors, la France, là.
Oh, Mélanie Hennig. This is a very lovely, crazy horse in the good way. Please, Melanie, if you listen, don't misunderstand me. She's just, the pure fire. She's like, bam, and she can smash everything. I believe that she can do even better and faster if she is, because she's pure fire.
Yeah.
I don't have other definition. I just don't know how to explain her. I never spoke with her. I'm fluent in French. I know her team. I know her coaches. For some reason, we never cross. And I'm so excited to see this fire from close and to serve this and to try to understand how to improve this. But such a chance to have high-level sprinter, 50 bag, 50 fly, 50 free, and 100s to cover where we need. That's a lot of events.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And finally, the face of the franchise, to be quite honest, the pressure, the talent, the experience that she brings, the work ethic. Katinka Hauser, talk about Katinka. That something we don't know about Katinka.
I will be honest with you about Katinka, and she doesn't know this, so maybe I should not say it. But I was not the biggest fan of Katinka in the past. I didn't like the energy was around. I didn't like the idea that my mind created. My mind, not she, my mind. Mm-hmm. And since 3 months when we are talking together, and now in Rome, when we open to talk also about personal stuff, I'm like, I told her I was so wrong about you. I apologize. And she's creating an empire behind, basically. Mm-hmm. You don't know what is behind her actually. It's much more. She's thinking in such a 360 degrees way that she wants to make swimming better. She's doing this. The franchise is her. She's the boss. I mean, let's talk clearly. And she understands, and she's zero interference. Zero interference. I admire this. She's letting you do the job. She's letting Dorina the job. She makes her feel comfortable. And we deliver. Dorina delivered in the past, so it's working. So I hope for her that she will not be supposed to swim all these events. Like do pam pam pam. I would love to see Katinka enjoying the race, not the single racing, but you know what I mean? Like being focused on this event. Let's see, and really and then getting out, cheering the swimmers, having her energy for the youngster or the people with less experience. That's what I see, like a real captain from all point of view.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying big time, and I just enjoy when I see Katinka smile and laugh and have fun on camera. She's always working hard and putting her hell into it, but we felt the pressure of last season of her making a movie, managing of the team, and then having the burden of the team on her shoulders. And to see her smile again, I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, thanks for the insight. All right.
Definitely. So that was huge. I mean, obviously a great deep dive there, Luka. Every GM head coach better step it up because as you can tell there, Luka knows the swimmers. He's looking at this long term. So what we're going to do, we'll finish up with some rapid fire, Luka, and then we'll send everyone on their way. All right, first question. What's the hardest race in swimming?
400 medley long course.
Okay. Would you rather coach an Olympic gold medalist, a world record holder, or be the head coach of the ISL Grand Champion team?
How old is the Olympic champion?
24.
The team.
Okay. You mentioned a few races where we're not seeing progress. When will someone break the 200 fly long course women's world record of 201?
That's one hard record to break.
Yeah. We can just leave it at that, I think. How many world
I
records?
wish I would see it.
What was that?
I wish I would see it. It's 201 the world record? Are you serious?
2-1,
No,
yeah.
just kidding.
Crazy. All right.
Yeah.
How many world records will we see at the Tokyo Olympics?
We're gonna see. You want a number?
Yeah. Throw something out there.
We're gonna see 10 world records.
Ooh. That'll be exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
On paper, what's the strongest event for Team Iron in 2021?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Yep. With your current roster, what's the strongest event for Team Iron for this upcoming ISL season?
It could be easily women's sprint.
Mm-hmm.
I would say 50 fly women.
Okay. How about the weakest event on roster?
200 back women.
Okay. All right, Luka, you're off the hot seat. Thanks for joining us here today. Luka, where can people follow you or follow Team Iron if they want to join you in your journey?
Wait, sorry, again, I had the problem with this. Wait a second. Can you repeat? Sorry, man.
Yeah, no worries. If people want to follow you, follow Team Iron, where can they do it? Is there any social media or where would you send them?
I'm not a really social person, but like I have just my Instagram that I'm using to post my personal stuff mostly, or some in swimming. But when I find something really interesting, not just like picture with me with a big guy and like, but it's just my name and the Iron team on Instagram, the ISL on Instagram. Again, I'm a terrible ambassador in terms of social media. Please, you really embarrassed me with this question. Thank you very much for finishing on this way.
On a high note.
Just people.
Well, you're welcome. You were so polished the whole time. You had your whole team. I had to throw you a tough one there. But Luka, thank you very much for Thank you very much for joining us here today. Everyone, thanks for listening. Please subscribe, like, share this with a friend so we can keep bringing on different athletes and coaches and continue to grow the sport. But Luka, good luck at the upcoming Olympics with Israel and with Team Iron.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be here, and thank you for what you're doing for our sport.
Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. If you're enjoying Social Kick, tell your friends about it, and be sure to tell us what you liked by leaving a comment, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at The Social Kick Podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Social Kick, and you can find all of our content on our website at thesocialkick.com.